everyone, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. This is Rosie Sews Modern Vintage. Check my hair. I have been trying out a new vintage hairstyle called the poodle. I hope that's what it looks like. That is what it's supposed to be. I often have trouble when I get up in the morning because I have a lot of health problems, and one of the things is chronic pain and fatigue, and so I don't often have the energy or the time when I get up in the morning to do my hair. So a few days ago, when I had to be out early in the morning, the night before I'd put my hair in victory rolls and I put a hairnet over the top and slept in that, and the next day it actually came out all right. So I thought I'd do this today, put a hairnet on tonight and see how it looked in the morning, because I'm going out in the morning. So I'll keep you posted as to how it looked tomorrow. We've got a really lovely vintage shop in our town called Isabel's Vintage and Retro Clothing, and she sells obviously beautiful dresses, but she also sells loads of accessories, so like loads of hair accessories. This one isn't actually one of hers, but I often do wear the ones from her shop. She sells ruby shoes and Lulu Hun shoes. She sells lovely jewellery from Splendette, What Katie Did underwear, all sorts of beautiful stuff. And last week we took our daughter for a surprise to Isabel's, and she got to choose a dress, and she also got her hair done, and she chose a poodle. So I thought it looked so nice on her that I thought, oh, I actually really fancy giving it a go while my hair is long. So yeah, so I had a go at it. Not sure whether it's the best, but I'm relatively pleased with it for the first time. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow. How are you getting on in the heat? I am struggling. I have to admit, I don't really like the heat. I know it's lovely when the sun shines, and I really love the sun, but the heat makes my pain and my fatigue worse, so I end up getting really grumpy, and so then I just have to put all of my effort into pretending to be a nice person, even though inside I'm really cross. Just channel thoughts of coldness and imagine that I'm in the Arctic and sit in front of the fan and find air conditioning wherever I can possible, just to try and maintain being a nice person. So I would never wish the summer away, because I know loads of people love it, but it's not my favourite temperature at the moment. How do you all get on? Am I the only one who hates the hot weather? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, enough waffling, let me show you all of my sewing stuff. So first of all, here is my bureau, and on the top of it, as you can see, I've got my button collection. I used to have it all in one tin, but I found that every time I wanted to find some buttons, it was a big old palaver to kind of scoop them all out and try and find the right colours. So I thought I'm going to divide them up, and then I just use these jam jars, put the different colours, and then put a matching fabric on the top so that they're easy to recognise. The sort of black and navy blue ones, I haven't taken the labels off the jam jars yet, but I will get around to that soon. And this one, this is a real box of treasure, because this is all Liberty buttons. I bought these when I visited Liberty of London a few years ago, bought them as a little present, and I use them sometimes, but it has to be a really special project to do that. So now I was going to show you inside. There's a bit of my daughter's writing there. So this is where I keep all of my tools. So I've got all my different scissors down here and my rotary cutter. I've got a screwdriver for when my sewing machine or my overlocker need undoing and changing the needle or something. I have a really old pair of vintage scissors, which were my granddad's. He was a tailor in his younger years. Sorry, my great granddad. He was a tailor, so I keep them. They're completely useless. They're really blunt, but they're sentimental, so I love them. In here, this my sister-in-law brought me back when she was living in Taiwan for a while, and so inside is my own set of chopsticks. And you might think, why is that in my sewing cupboard? But I use them for pushing out corners and turning things in the right way round when I've been making bags or collars or anything like that. So I find that really handy. These are my little pin cushions that you can put on your finger. I made a few with little pretty pins in, just to give as presents to people, and I've got a few left over yet. This one I really love because this was made with vintage bark cloth fabric. I kept that one for myself because I really love it. And then in the back here you can see all my tools here. When I used to run a sewing school, one of my students bought me this, which is extendable magnet, so you can pick up pins, and my sewing studio used to have pins all over the place, but it's also a torch on the bottom, so that's quite handy for finding pins that you've dropped. So that's all my little tools there. I made this horrendous, I went to a pottery painting workshop and made this, and it's so awful, but you know, I quite like it. It's cute. Shame about the artist that painted it, but anyway, I like that to keep all my tape measures in. And then over here I've got my beautiful Liberty of London pincushion, which my sister bought me, a little mug that my friend gave me, so I keep all my chalks in there. And then in here are my homemade pattern weights. So I used some old cotton reels with some vintage labels, wrapped some fabric around them and put a little washer on it. So I've got some really beautiful ones, some beautiful fabrics. There's a really lovely Instagram page, a lady called Foxglove and Field, and she makes fabulous versions of these. They're quite expensive, which is why I haven't got any, and I had to make do on my own, but if I had £25 for a pack of 6, I would definitely be getting them because they are stunning. In here I keep all my sewing machine accessories and my bobbins and things in there. One of my Cath Kidston pin cushions from when I worked there. So the first drawer has got all my thread in it. These were all colour coordinated and they gradually come out of coordination, but anyway, I do love moon thread. I use that most of the time, but sometimes a good old bit of Gutermann is necessary to do some nice top stitching. I also find that my machine prefers to sew with Gutermann thread if I'm sewing jersey. And then I've got this tin which has a lot of ribbons and bias bindings and things. That's lovely. And then I've got a few of my half-made projects in there. And then finally, at the bottom, I have even more haberdashery. So this is mainly lace and also a bit more bias binding. I love having a good old rummage through there to find some nice bits and bobs to accessorise my sewing projects with. And then this is all my sewing patterns. I'm not going to get it all out, but there they all are. So this bureau was originally black when I bought it. I got it from a charity shop for £5. I think it was probably a 1940s piece originally. It was beautifully made, but black just wasn't going to work in our colour scheme in our house. So my husband, the brilliant person that he is, painted it in a lovely chalk paint. I think this one was by Rust-Oleum, which we then waxed over the top. And then at the bottom we decoupaged some wallpaper onto there to give it that nice pattern. And that was actually my husband's idea as well. So I was really impressed with that. And this is my fabric storage cupboard. It's in the living room. I've got lots of nice pictures on the top, including this lovely picture, which, sorry about the broken glass, the cat knocked it off. I don't know whether you recognise that, but that's a quote from You've Got Mail, which is my absolute favourite film ever, and my husband gave me this on our wedding anniversary a couple of years ago. It's one of my favourite presents. So nice. So here is all my fabric. I'm going to start down here. Got some lovely sweatshirting fabrics there, which I haven't decided which sweatshirt I'm going to make. I really fancy doing the linden sweatshirt, but I might actually have a go at the Tilly hoodie because I do actually have that pattern, so it kind of be more sensible really. And then I've got this lovely jersey which I showed you last video, and this pretty stripe which I'd really like to make just a Breton stripe, probably a Tilly Cocoa striped one. So that's that. And then I've got winter fabrics up here. So I've got some red cord, some red and white striped drill. This is a check wool that my mum gave me, and then I've got a few Calf Kidson pieces that are small but might do for a project. And then right at the top, this one I got when I was at Satisfaction for their swap back in the, I think it was in April, on their sort of celebratory day anyway. And there's 2 meters of that, so I'm looking forward to finding a project for that. And then here's all my polka dots, big polka dot fan, some stars. This one is like 50s people doing the jive in 50s clothes. It's really cool. This is a cotton, and this one my friend got for me from South Africa. It's a proper African wax cotton, so I'm looking forward to using that soon. And then there's all my florals down there. So I hope you enjoyed that little tour around my sewing stash. I'd love to see other people's stashes, so if you've got a YouTube video that you've posted, please link it in the comments below so that we can all have a look. Please also let me know if you've got any other ideas for things that you would like to see me do on the vlog. And in the meantime, have a lovely day, enjoy the warm weather, or I hope you manage to stay cool if you're struggling with the warm weather, and I will see you soon. Bye!